YouTube! Today we're going to be going over something a little bit different. We are going to be discussing high-level, peak of the peak, best of the best Master Duel gameplay. It's featuring, yeah, somehow. Today we've got Quantal Think, a world champion, two-time finalist of Master Duel, to guide us through some gameplay here today. The purpose of this is to not focus on specific interactions and combos per se, but how to upgrade your game, change your mentality, and how you think about and approach your hand. When you look at an extender versus a board state versus value against your opponent's hand traps that they might have at any one time, Quantal's gonna dissect a bunch of replays for myself and go in depth with every play, every thought process going into each minor interaction, and how to actually approach a duel more so conceptually and thinking about it from the perspective of pure trading card game, card economy, value, tempo, that type of stuff. If this sounds like your type of thing, then stay tuned, it's going to be a good one. And the best way to support this kind of video is to leave a like so that I know that you interacted with and enjoyed this type of video. Watch till the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy.
So, first of all, at this point, you have to always check for what hand traps do you care about, which ones can impact your hand quality. You can just look at your hand, you have Ash, Fua, Engraver, Sekijin, Imperm. Your Maxi out is there. If they have Fua, unlucky. But the things you can't play around are cards like Droll, Imperm, Ash, Impulse. And therefore, to play around Droll, for example, the best starter for sure here is Sekijin. Because if you get Droll and Sekijin, at least you have the Golem, which is an extra body. Where if you Engraver now and you get Drolled on Tract Ad, kind of stare at the Tracts for a very long time.
It's really awkward because, like, sometimes I feel like you kind of just have to just pick a hand trap and then play through it. Because my logic with, you know, leading with, I assume I go Engraver first here, is because I'm like, okay, well, let's just put up Caesar first. That just makes the most sense to me.
No, but you don't, like, commit the Golem, is the thing. You're something to Sekijin,
and then
just to add Golem, just to check for Droll.
Okay.
If they don't draw you, then you go for Engraver. It's just a matter of the best value into Droll requires you to first Sekijin.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you get Drolled on Engraver, Tract Ad, and get Drolled, you lose to one singular hand trap afterwards.
Right, yeah, because you have to normal Lurry basically to play at that point. No, not even Lurry, yeah, you have to normal a hand trap plus Seng Engine and not get the search. And then your Mermaid would just get hit and you would cry.
Yeah, otherwise you could like Mermaid and then Moon and it feeds with Engine and it's like tolerable.
Okay, yeah. So do you go into every game is like, this is just the first question you ask is like, Droll is like check number one?
It's just a matter of like the checks of which hand traps can you play around. Which hand traps, like if they resolve, reduce the amount of like pushes you have. And like card value. It's nothing a matter of like, is it better into Ash or Imperm? Because those are just fundamentally one for one. In both cases, if either Engraver or Sekijin is ashed, it doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
So we tracked here. I mean, this is fundamentally the same, but we don't have a Sekijin on field. It does make it a bit worse into a like Bestial, but a Bestial is fine. That means that we can't get impermed. Obviously, if we here we Ash Maxi, obviously. Make Moon, not Moon, sorry, Requiem, summon Lacrima. Another reason why I liked Sekijin on field right now is I would prefer making sequence with the Lacrima and Sekijin.
Without using Engraver.
Without using Engraver. The reasoning is we've checked for Ash. They don't have Ash. They're with Ash Requiem. Rather, any sane person with Ash Requiem. I mean, you never know with low elo. So...
What do you mean? These are master games!
I said what I said.
It's 3 summons for context, so...
The thing is, they always have to nip you on the resolution of sequence. But then you still have the Engraver effect. to revive itself. So you don't actually lose a body for like committing to Sangagen. So like if you get Imperm, for example, or Impulse on the sequence, you then have the opportunity with the Golem hand. You go Engraver, revive itself, and because we have the Tract Engrave, we can Tract effect, fuse the sequence plus the Engraver into Lacrima. Lacrima revived Engraver, make Caesar, make us nib proof, and then we can play with the Golem into like the Orcust combo, Mermaid combo. What's your reasoning?
So yeah, like my reasoning is like sometimes if I have like two different engines, like the Sang engine is extremely powerful as one card combo in any deck basically, and then it's the same with Engraver. So it's like I don't want to show that I have both pushes type of thing, because rather than them just immediately like, you know, dropping Imperm or Ash on like Zombie Vampire, then because they know I have Fiendsmith and the Millennium Cut, like maybe they just hold their hand traps for something like Sequence. Maybe they just hold something like that, right? So if I show that I have both, maybe it just makes them more conservative with their hand traps is what I'm fearing.
Holding back information in like most combo decks is not like a real thing that should be like noted. Holding back information doesn't necessarily change the outcome of a hand trap. Like, you will still get the nibbed for the same amount, for example, or impermed. It'll have the same like value as it would like if you didn't Sangagen. It's just a matter of you then in turn end in less interrupts by playing in this way, and also you play into more hand traps because you play so conservatively.
But yeah, I am forced to just use the Engraver effect, so it is what it is. Now this is weird because I like it's kind of awkward because
they use it without using active sequence, but it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, because I was trying to think like, oh, maybe there's like a neat thing I can do where maybe I can like recycle the sequence and then remake it. But if they did hypothetically do this with your play, I could actually do that because I could link off the sequence and then like, you know, use the Engraver because I've already used the Engraver at this point. Shuffle it back.
I mean, it's still like the same thing. Doesn't really matter in that part. I'm just assuming that they're playing optimally, and they would just impermit on summon.
Is this correct, by the way? Because the other option was to scale Fua, go for Doom Dragon, and then I get the then I get Zombie Vampire. But I don't know if Zombie Vampire is like,
I think
necessary.
In this specific line, open yourself up to losing to a second imperm. Or impulse, which could be the only hand traps in this scenario which could come up. Like, if you do, for example, make Mermaid here, use the effect, discard whatever, and you do get imperm or impulsed, you have 0 end board. You have no engine. You'll make SP pass. And that's not ideal. So I think pushing the most, you don't really care about imperm in the end result. Because if you full combo, that imperm has just like doesn't really matter. It's more a matter of do you get into your engine, get the full combo, because the Orcust combo board is quite strong. You can't do this with every board. You'd also play as a bit weird.
I find myself in this situation a lot randomly where I'll have like a negated sequence, but I don't actually have anything I can get with it. Like, if I played, like, a second Link 4 or something, but the extra deck in this version is, like, really tight.
No, you don't need, like, more, like, end board pieces, because I think, realistically, like, Crescendo is the best negate in the game, after, like, Tachyon Transmigration. Also, another thing that really bothers me is your, like, negligence to activating Babel. You hate activating Babel.
Is it just to stop Bestials, I guess?
I mean, it just makes it so that you can't just beast you at some point for fun. I mean, most of these things don't matter too much. Oh, one thing that really bothers me right now is that the Endling Gears 2 is in the main monster zone.
Does that matter?
Have you read the second effect?
Oh!
From the extra monster zone.
Oh, I did. Oh, okay, yeah. To be fair, I've played so many games of Orcust, like, people just scoop or you win the game by the time you've made him, basically.
Yes, but it's still not correct because of that.
Yeah, that's just the basic thing I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
So another point is that I feel like you don't know the interaction of you want to link one, use the link one, Galatea, to add Crown and Nightmare send World Wand at some point in order to have a Crown on the field as an interrupt.
Oh, I guess I just don't know that combo.
This is an interaction that like you need to keep in mind.
But the thing is, like, what I don't think I could have done it this turn, right?
No, you have a Harpour in hand. Harpour summons Gears to sends a Nightmare. Or World Wand immediately if you want to.
Oh, right, yeah, sure. Yeah, I actually just don't know that interaction. Oops.
Yeah, so that is the interaction that you need to keep in mind.
So this is the thing that I find myself struggling with combo decks is like, how do I know what to interrupt, right? Because the end board here is good, but it's not like auto win, right? Like it's only like 3 interrupts, which, you know, versus a 4-card hand, I could just lose to.
Against a strong hand, it could possibly be dangerous. But your opponent activated Roar is really convenient because you know their card there is just a -1. As it were, because that Blue Eyes is not doing anything. You're going to crescendo this, which I personally do not like. I personally value the crescendo more than both Imperm and Endling Gears interactions. I would have preferred SP changed to the barrel, targeting itself at the barrel, and Imperm on the barrel.
Oh, you want to dedicate like 2 cards to that?
You understand? 2 cards is not always better than 1 card. The crescendo plays around everything. For example, Blue Eyes doesn't have a lot of pushes. Imperm is not very good into Blue Eyes in most scenarios. This is the best value Imperm you could probably get in like most scenarios against Blue Eyes. SP is another card. Most of the time, completely useless.
So I looked at it in terms of raw advantage. In my mind, it's like, okay, if I crescendo, I deny any follow-up if I can't kill next turn. It gets rid of the normal summon so they can't make the link one, and it stops lore deload. So it's like I'm like dealing with like 1 crescendo stops kind of like 2.5 sort of cards in some way, right? Is like what I'm thinking.
SP plus Imperm also does that, but you need to understand the value of your interaction in comparison to the cards your opponent can have. Like, you understand that Imperm is fundamentally really bad against Blue Eyes because, okay, you Imperm a barrel, they can make a link one, it's whatever. If they have True Light, you can't ever interact with the Blue Eyes with the SP. The level 1s aren't really like good SP targets. So you have to look at it this way. And now, for example, if your opponent, let's say, has a Wishes, I'm going straight up. In most cases, your Blue Eyes opponent won't be able to break this, regardless, even if you crescendo the barrel. But it gives you less lose conditions in this scenario, overall. Exactly realistic, you probably never lose this because they have 2 cards and you have a Ding Grave Skeleton. Use everything here, say Chain Link. I just assume it's just for simplicity's sake of it's faster.
Yeah, I mean at this point, this wasn't really relevant.
Also, another thing is I prefer having a Harpour than a
Gears to normal summon? Why? Oh, I guess it's
because the Link one just pitches Harp and that gets just more value.
Yeah, okay.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point.
Look, I White Lightninged him.
True. True. You did BM him.
Okay, let's move on to replay number 2.
So we're looking at his hand. It's not great. I'm going to straight up ask you, why is there 2 Ball Trick in your deck without a Magnamut?
I'm not sure. I literally just copy-pasted this from Macedo Meta, I believe.
Ah, big mistake. Big mistake. Yeah, there's just 2 Baldricks in here. I don't know why. Sure, let this resolve. They had Maiden. I do agree with your reasoning here. 1 Fua, I think, is correct. If you use 2, they're guaranteed to not suffer the extra deck because they don't need to. 1 Fua at least incentivizes them to, like, maybe there's a chance they give you a draw or 2. Usually just 1 draw, but still more value than using both and having both get you 0 draws. And also with the Wedge Temple and as a discard for your engine, it's better to keep stack of 1. So it's correct in this way.
So the idea sometimes with like drawing double Fua is like maybe it's sometimes good to wait until there's a guaranteed draw and then you could just chain both for like Pot of Greed. But I don't think Blue Eyes has an interaction like that where they give you except like Roar very specifically.
Blue Eyes, if they play correctly, don't give you interaction like that. Because usually they'll even go through Roar in the original, like, normal, like, combos. Also, because they started with Sage, you know they won't have a Lord reload, which is another, like, point where you could maybe double Fua. But, here, kind of unfortunate that they have the field spell already. Here, though, I'm really like, in most scenarios, going with True Light to summon is weird. Usually, I would think they have Wishes in hand. I do agree with going Baldric on Blue Eyes when they do opt to go True Light to summon.
Well, so it's really annoying because they go True Light Summon and they just had one in the hand. So
It's really unfortunate. I must
do you think it was
say,
correct
it's
to do
really-
it?
No, it's absolutely correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, it absolutely punishes any, like, normal way of playing this. Though in most cases in this scenario, I would expect to have Wishes in hand, because there is no reason to really ever, like, play it this way, where still, as your opponent, I will say it was still correct for them to just set Wishes. And Wishes effect discard their Blue Eyes in hand. So their play doesn't make sense, which I cannot blame you on.
Because yeah, in my mind, like they are using they're committing True Light. If I Baldric now, I just stop like 2 special summons basically. But it is what it is.
It's the only value Baldric's gonna get in this scenario.
Yeah.
And you just got unlucky that they had one in hand, and their misplay ended up like, it doesn't really like make you go minus, but it just makes it weird.
All right, so
You draw a Maxi, which is fine because you're like, this is a matchup where you can get draws off Maxi on your turn. And something to note here is they immediately activate True Light, and that should put alarm bells in your head of they for sure have a Drill Beam set, because there is no other reason to immediately activate True Light without like an access to a reveal. Them Chaining Spirit, actually unfortunate for you, because the Spirit doesn't actually like interact with your deck specifically until like it's way too late for Ultimate to do anything.
right, yeah.
Like, you'd rather have them with Spirit on field than have an Ultimate on field. So you have to look at this. Golem is for sure the only way to start. You have to kind of pray that they use Ultimate on this. Or Drill Beam for whatever reason. And you're fortunate that they do use the Ultimate Spirit Dragon.
Is it unfortunate? Is that not maybe correct for them?
I mean, in their eyes, it's correct.
Yeah, okay.
No. Like, in their scenario that they don't know that you have Wedge Temple, it is correct. It's just that, like, because you have it, it's, like, fortunate for you.
Is this the right scale, by the way? Because I was deciding between...
No, absolutely not.
So I was
It's
thinking...
always World 1.
So I was thinking I can World 1 later, because I'm probably going to go into a Nightmare, and it's better to...
What is your reasoning of World 1 later? Like, what way do you mean, like, World 1 later?
Well, because if I go Phoenix, I'm going to maybe try hit like a Call by the Grave. So it just protects it from Call by, essentially, I think is what I was thinking.
But a Call by on World 1 doesn't really matter with Call by.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter, but like, it would be good to have if it like somehow came up, right?
No,
like...
but like, it doesn't stop you from comboing. The main point is you want to get to, like, once you get to Engine, that's all that matters. Like, if they Call by the World 1 for whatever reason, you're like big chilling. The main unfortunate thing is now, because you use the Fua, you don't have a good normal summon other than Ash, where the World 1 usually would be Descend. And this comes from like multiple layers of Ash is a better card for follow-up than a World 1 that's just stuck in your hand. And in this exact scenario, you doomed the ultimateness. This is all correct. Like, all fine. My main issue comes at the resolution of Doom Dragon. You have to sit down and evaluate. I would not have made Zombie Vampire here.
You think it's
because...
Phoenix?
No. In fact, neither of those.
Oh, okay.
You have to evaluate if what your lose conditions are. You know, one of the sets is Drill Beam. It's like easily inferred. The second one, you can't know. Although, The ways you're guaranteed to win is their imperm or purge.
Well, how else do you force drill beam? Are you thinking like go battle phase with 3 bodies?
Yes, the best way is to go battle phase with the doomed, because it like rather than giving them a 2-for-1 value off that drill beam, you're making it a 1-for-1, and you don't need the battle phase to win. Like your deck, if you get to combo, you get rid of their true lights. You ensure they have 0 follow-up pretty much. You could even SP their second blue eyes if you wanted to. And you automatically win with Crescendo set.
Yeah.
But now, because you go zombie vampire, you get drill beamed here. And you lose an extra body for 0 value. Another issue is here, you would have had the Ash, still kept the Ash in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have used the Baldrake, the Zegagen.
Oh, okay.
No, the Zegagen. To make Phoenix. And for reference, you would have attacked over stage. So they only have Blue Eyes, a set, True Light, a Blue Eyes banished, and openness in the spell check card zone. So you now make a Phoenix, and imagine there's an Ash in your hand. So now, as you continue, Phoenix is correct here for sure, because it punishes like Imperm or Purge. You get unlucky at Scream. And you immediately scoop. But however, if you had kept the Ash in hand, you still had the win condition. As long as their draw specifically isn't a Lordly Load or Ether Barrel. The only value the True Light has is Set Wishes or Roar. In either case, Ash on either of those ensures that they, 1, don't get an extra interrupt. So if they go Wishes, they have to discard their drawn card, leaving it up to the Ash it. The only interrupt they can get is via the effect of Wishes Graveyard effect, making Tyrant, and setting Scream back. Where it leaves you with Western Temple, Segagen in hand, a Fua, which is a normal summon, where imagining that Fua is in hand, not World Want, and a top deck. Which leaves you at the scenario of, with World Want in hand, that if you draw Harp Horror, Skeleton, or Gearsu, you automatically win the game. Automatically. Because they can't negate those normal summons, no matter what. And the Segagen summon will always do something, with like an extra push. So realistically, you gave yourself, like, this is not like a for sure one game, but you did give yourself the chances to win the game into what they had fundamental in the end.
Yeah. Okay.
So you were always beating that Emperor Purge. It was just a matter of, it was Scream, and you didn't have anything for the follow-up to stop him from snowballing.
I think my issue is
Because
maybe
it's also-
sometimes I'm getting scared of cards that I don't need to be scared of. Like the call by, for example. Like I was playing around that for no reason really. And I guess like the drill beam, like in my mind I'm like, okay, let's just force out drill beam. Zombie vampire has to do it. But I guess like battle phase just does it. Right? Like there's nothing
you
to
need
be
to like think Battle Fate as a resource.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're like, because of Master Duel, a lot of the time when you're under Maxi, you are forced to use Battle Phase as like an end result. You forget that Battle Phase can also just be used as a resource over other things. And that is something that like I think is very important here.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. This was our deep dive into some game theory, some Yu-Gi-Oh understanding of value, your tempo, how to actually think about a game process as you go rather than just like simple spreadsheet combo, etc., etc. So thanks to Quantal for joining me. Any closing thoughts or something like, you know, like a TLDR if you would like to give like one big piece of advice type of thing?
Please think before you play.
Okay, like a little bit more specific.
Evaluate your lose conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Like go through your lose conditions and win conditions, and make your choices based off those.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you in the next one.